Christmas has become a traditional time for keeping alive old bonds of friendship by way of greeting. There was a time when we handwrote and posted greeting cards. Then the telephone came in and replaced the greeting card. Then messaging and texting came in and replaced the telephone. Of course, the best way to keep alive the love of absent family, friends and relatives is to visit them. The visit is the traditional way of conquering distances and overcoming absence. So we talk of going to see someone, showing our face and spending some time together. And in the giving and receiving of hospitality, in being present to each other again, our relationship grows and deepens. Even more than mere socializing, visiting family is a reminder that Christmas is a family feast. The Feast of the Holy Family was inserted in the church calendar exactly 100 years ago by Pope Benedict XV in 1921. The Feast of the Holy Family is celebrated on the Sunday between Christmas Day and the 1st of January, with the primary purpose of presenting the Holy Family as a model for Christian families. At Christmas, God comes to us. God is at home with us, for He is Emmanuel. The most important place where we could and should find God is in our homes. We will find Him if we strive to be like the family of Jesus, Mary and Joseph. An 80-year-old man was sitting on a sofa in his house, along with his 45-year-old highly educated son. Suddenly a crow perched on their window. The father asked the son what it was. The son replied saying it was a crow. After a few minutes, the father again asked his son what it was. The son, showing signs of slight irritation, said it was a crow. After a little while, again the father asked the same question a third time what it was. And this time some more signs of irritation were felt in the son's tone. And he said to his father with a snub that it was a crow. After a little while, again the father asked the son the fourth time what it was. This time the son shouted at his father and rebuked him for asking the same question again and again and again and not understanding. After a while, the father went to his room and returned with a tattered diary which he had maintained since his son was born. On opening a page written 43 years ago, he asked his son to read that page. The following words were written in the diary. Today my little son, aged 3, was sitting with me on the sofa when a crow was sitting on the window. My son asked me 22 times what it was, and I replied all 22 times that it was a crow. I hugged him lovingly each time he asked the same question again and again for 21 times. I did not feel irritated. I rather felt affection for my innocent child. Today's Gospel highlights one incident in the life of the Holy Family of Nazareth. Their first journey as a family to celebrate the Passover feast at Jerusalem. But then there was a problem. They lose Jesus in the crowd and vainly search for Him. They know their responsibility. They have accepted to be His parents and take care of Him. And so Joseph and Mary are greatly disturbed in not finding Him. Obedience is the hallmark of the Holy Family. They have traveled to Jerusalem in obedience to their Jewish traditions and customs. They take Jesus to the temple in obedience to the law and Jewish custom. They make their offering in obedience to the law of Moses. In short, they did everything in obedience to the law of the Lord. The entire family shows reverence to God's law. Often, when we think of the Holy Family of Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, they are portrayed as a model family, and we think that they had very smooth, untroubled existence, very unlike our own troubled families. Yet this is not true. The Holy Family experienced much of what we go through in our lives. They lived with insecurity. When they needed a home most, they are homeless. They are immigrants in a foreign land. Just when their child is born, there is insecurity again, as they have to live with murder threats. They fear the murderous designs of Herod, and they have to flee. After they have settled down, they have to move again. As Jesus grows, they lose him in the temple, and they cannot understand why he has chosen to stay behind. There is misunderstanding in the Holy Family. Later he goes about his mission, and there is separation, loneliness, and untimely death, and they have to cope with it. Was the Holy Family an ideal family? Was it not very much like our very own? What helped them to live in the family is their mutual respect and reverence for each other. They are committed to one another and support each other, even if they do not understand each other's actions completely. Ultimately, it is their faith that brings about the love that unites the Holy Family. To live with others, we have to love others. We will then discover that God is very close to us. God is at home with us. God dwells in our midst. A puzzle page in a newspaper showed a drawing of an outdoor scene. Beneath it was the question, "Can you find the girl hidden in the drawing?" A close examination of the drawing showed the girl's eyes and eyebrows concealed in a tree branch. Another branch hid her mouth and nose. A cloud revealed her flowing hair. After you discovered the girl, that drawing was never the same again. It is like that with Jesus. He is in our lives, waiting to be found. Once we find him, our lives will never be the same again. It is the same with our families. Once we discover the value of our families, our lives will not be the same again. There are other times when we want our family to be the dream family we see on television. Our families are made up of ordinary, fallible human beings. A holy family is not a perfect family. May we discover that God is at home with us in our homes. The Holy Family becomes a model for all Christian families, called to live in faith and in obedience to God and in harmony with one another and with all people. We can only live with others if we live for others. If we do so, we will, like Jesus, grow in wisdom, in stature, and find favor with God and human beings. Amen.